The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
All right, well, we appreciate you guys coming out to visit with us today. Tough football game on Saturday, and but the biggest thing we're doing right now is looking forward to going into the next football game, which is Brevard. And as we talk about every week, it's not really about Brevard right now as much as it is about us becoming the type football team that we want to be and finishing the season the right way.
You look at it, what is the biggest thing that needs to change after the LR game?
I think when you go and look at our schedule, I think one of the big things that showed up to us this morning is you open the season up with a loss and you get a win, and you get a loss and you get a win. And there's points in times to where we played really good and we look like a really good football team. And there's other points in times to where we haven't looked so good. So the big thing we're trying to do right now is trying to find that consistency. We want to get more good plays than bad plays, obviously, but we want to be the best team that we can be every time the football snap. So I think that's, our biggest focus this week is trying to find that consistency and doing things the right way all of the time.
Last year you faced 4 teams that played triple option, and this year it's really just Brevard. What challenges are there to prepare for that flex bone that Paul Hamilton brings to the table?
The flex bone is unique because of with the motions and the way people move around. They're able to kind of try to get you outnumbered on one side or the other. And the good thing for us is we see some form of the option all the time, so you don't go into a game completely unprepared. But the biggest thing is like our defense probably hadn't seen that on a weekly basis as much as you normally would, having that many teams on the schedule. So it's going to be a little bit of a challenge for them, just kind of making sure that they understand their fits and so forth. But I think we talked this morning that our biggest plan is to kind of stay simple and make sure guys know how to execute.
These have been close games the last 2 times you've gone up to Brevard. What message is there to your team that, hey, this is a team that, even though they're going D3 next year, that can compete and has competed with us in the past?
In fact, our message goes back to being consistent. Us as a football team determining what type of football team we want to be, and not necessarily looking at Brevard or what's happened there in the past as much as looking at where we are right now and what do we want to accomplish as a football team.
Obviously, I think the offense is a little bit frustrated, but part of that has to do with playing a little freshman quarterback in the second half. How do you think that Derek Evans handled himself?
Overall, when you watch the video, I think Derek did a good job. I mean, there are obviously some things that we need to correct. Anytime you play a freshman quarterback, the big part of that is making sure that we get everyone else moving to get him some help, and that's what we didn't do well. And I think guys will come over to see today that, there's several times in that game where he winds up on his back after throws, and now part of that, Derek's got to do a little bit better job of getting depth in his drops and helping himself out. But overall, we got to do a better job of protecting him. So it's not just Derek as much as it is us putting the full picture together the way it's supposed to be. We're looking at right now kind of putting some clips together to where, showing the things that we did well and some of the things that we didn't do so well. And it's just so many times when you watch the video, we're talking about finding that +1. We've got one guy that fails to do his job that really kind of puts us in a bad situation. And if we can get that corrected, then we have a chance to be a really good football team.
It seems like the last couple of weeks the defense is starting to make some plays. The special teams, Winbush had a big punt return last week. How big is that for this team to get some big plays out of the defense and special teams?
I think that's important as far as us putting the full picture together. A couple of the scores that we had this week, one of them was set up by the punt return. We had the interception that we had on defense that kind of give us a short field. And that's what we talk about when we talk about finishing those little things off. I think those are the things that really give us a chance to turn the corner, once we go back and we put things back in perspective the way we need to offensively. And, we're really close to getting to where we want to go.
Jamal Jones and Antonio Winbush looked to be getting back to form last week. Both have been banged up a little bit this season. How's the state of your backfield health-wise?
Health-wise, right now we're probably about where we started at the beginning of the year. We're able to get that 3-man rotation going, and we got Jared Dillingham some reps a couple weeks ago. Marcus Williams played some. And the biggest thing for us has probably been able to take some pressure off of those guys at practice and get other guys reps to where we can keep those guys fresh going into the game.
Last year against Brevard, you rotated units. Is that a plan this year, or do you want to stick with one?
Coach Sparks will have to make that call. But I think the way things are going right now, it's finding that one group, because we're still trying to gel together. And I think for us, that's probably the biggest point right now, is finding that group that fits where we can get that consistency that we're talking about.
Brevard's defense is vastly improved from last year, only allowing 350 yards a game that caused 12 turnovers. What sticks out to you about that 3-4 unit?
They've done a very good job of coaching the fundamentals. Like, they've limited some of the things that they're doing scheme-wise, and they've got guys in good stance. They're running to the football, and they're just playing good, sound ball, and that's what's giving them a chance to be better.
Jinsley John, inside linebacker, 15 tackles last week. He leads the league in tackles. What sticks out to you about him as a linebacker?
The way he feels. I mean, he does a great job as far as running downhill and filling the running lanes. And we've got to do a good job of making sure that we get to the second level to get him sealed and contained.